Hello YouTube, Bookham Dano here. I just want to do a quick video on something that I think is kind of cool. Not sure now where I got the idea. I heard somebody on YouTube mention it, just the whole idea of your birthday book. And, I got to thinking about that. In the context of the video I was watching, and again, I forget whose video it was, so my apologies there. But someone had actually just received in the mail from one of their, viewers. I think it was a Batman from the month and year that they were born in, and the person had enclosed a note that said, everyone needs to have their birthday book. And so I got thinking about that and thought, hey, you know what? I take a look and see what books came out. It's a long time ago, but March of 1969. So I've got one right here that I wanted to take a look at with you all. So this is one of my birthday books. This is GI Combat number 134. Came out of March 1969, which of course is my birth month. I was pretty excited when I saw this. Like I said, I'm looking at all the different books that came out that month and trying to pick one up here and there when the opportunity presents itself. So this is a pretty decent copy. Bought it on eBay. The seller said it was a 7.0, and that seems about right. So, not a super high grade copy or anything, but pretty decent. I talked about in one of my earlier videos that I'm fairly new to comic collecting. However, there was a time when I was a kid, and this would have been in the late 70s. So, right, I was 10, less than 10, where I was into a lot of the DC war books. So I had picked up a couple of GI Combats at like garage sales and really enjoyed those stories. And I was getting Sergeant Rock too. By this time he had his own series. It wasn't Our Army at War anymore. It was actually Sergeant Rock. But I'd actually subscribed to that, so I got them in the mail, and kind of woulda, shoulda, coulda. I sold those a couple years ago. I still had them. They were still in the. I didn't have them bagged and boarded or anything because I didn't. I'm not even sure bags and boards were available at that point. But even if they were, I wouldn't been nothing I was familiar with or knew about, but I did take pretty good care of my stuff, and so I had at least a year, if not 2 years worth of Sergeant Rocks, and they were still in the little brown mailing paper that they came in, and they weren't in 9.4 shape or anything like that, because I had read them a number of times. I read them and reread them. Love the stories. But I still have them in my original, in the original mailing. They're little brown like sleeves that you would put them in, and so it was after they didn't have sub creases or subscription creases. I've heard that term, but they were not. They didn't have that. But anyway, I sold them all on eBay together as a group, and I wish I still had them because I really enjoyed those books, and I think I also had thrown in the Silver Age GI Combats that I had too, which oh well. But this one, it's a haunted tank story, GI Combat 134. The cover I thought was really cool. You can see there's a baby on the cover, or a toddler, and the tank's rolling towards him. Once I got this book, I read it, and I really have to say I was pretty disappointed with the story. I still remember, you know, from the late 70s, because that was the last time I read them, you know, reading some GI Combats. I had a few copies that I'd bought off the shelf back then. They were like $1, and they were, you know, the big giant war book for $1. And I remember those stories being pretty decent. This, not so much. They're, I don't know. I didn't think it was that great a story. And this scene from the cover never, sorry, let's get this. This scene from the cover never even happens in the story. So that confused me. There was only one other story in here. You know, there was the haunted tank feature, and they've split it up into like 3 parts or whatever, which is fine. But I didn't think it was that great of a haunted tank story. I mean, I guess my memory, obviously when you're 9 or 10, stories probably seem better than they do when you're a grown-up, but I didn't make much sense to me. So anyway, that's my birthday book for GI Combat. It's you know, I like the cover. I'm happy I have it. A little disappointed with the story, but I'll be doing some more of these videos as I pick up more books from my birthday month. So thanks for watching.